just the amount of data that we're creating with all of those devices, we're expected to grow that by over 10x over that same time.
Please tell me we are.
That's 175 zettabytes.
Please.
175 trillion gigabytes of new data in just 2025 alone.
Can we?
Now, why is that important? Well,
please. Yes! Thank God! Okay.
So that you can really visualize.
Thank God.
And analyze.
Okay.
And most importantly, make decisions.
We're good, guys. So
when we look as an industry, what really excites us.
I have never gotten home so fast in my life.
All of that
okay, you're good.
How do we keep on that
I have
line
never,
so that we can
ever gotten home in my life so dang freaking fast.
And what I would say
I gotta say
to do that, it's going to require new approaches and new innovation.
Okay.
And frankly, it's a phenomenal opportunity for all of us to create new leaders.
Okay.
So, when you take a look at what's governed our industry, we keep talking about Moore's Law. Moore's Law is something that has been around for a long time, and it's really governed the pace of innovation.
So welcome to a...
So performance doubled every 2 years.
Welcome,
we got
guys.
More transistors.
Took forever.
Area.
But we've got some...
Really good.
We've got some... I apologize.
Life got a little bit more difficult.
Took a long freaking time.
Over the last 10 years,
I wouldn't use freaking, but
that trend has gotten a lot slower. And what that means is that the time between the introduction of new
what's up, everybody? Took a long freaking time. Hope y'all are ready for a nice announcement. I ran home. I've never driven home so freaking fast in my life.
So, from an industry standpoint, it places
never
really
been home so fast in my life.
On innovation. Innovation around design, innovation around architecture, and all of that is necessary so that we can keep powering all of these new devices. And so, at AMD, this is what gets us up every morning. This is what we focus on.
Okay.
We focus our innovation on how to get that trend line above and beyond where we currently are.
I've never been
home so fast. And there are two main thrusts that we believe in. The first one is heterogeneous computing. And what that is we have so many applications in today's world, whether you're talking about the cloud or you're talking about at the edge. And you need to use the right computing for the right application to achieve the best possible performance. And delivering that requires CPUs, it requires GPUs, it requires some accelerators from time to time. And the important thing is, how do you put those things together in a heterogeneous solution? Now, at AMD, we pride ourselves in putting together solutions, putting together CPUs, GPUs, optimized in a system environment. And during this next hour, I'm going to show you some of that technology in action.
Yes, please do. Please be Ryzen 3000.
The second important thing, and this is what a lot of us in the industry are focusing on,
Ryzen 3000 guys.
It's pushing the bleeding edge. Pushing the bleeding edge of high-performance computing.
Okay.
And what I like to say, what's so exciting about tech is, we have to decide beforehand. We make decisions today that will affect us 3, 4, maybe even 5 years later. And you don't know if they're going to work, frankly. So a couple of years ago, we saw some fundamental bottlenecks to increasing computing performance. And we made some big bets. We made some big bets about where we thought the industry was going to go.
7 nanometer? Yeah.
And 2019 is a key year where we see some of those big bets really pay off. So today I'm going to show you some of the things that will get us a significant inflection point in performance. And when you look at those pieces, it's new CPU and GPU cores. A lot of excitement around Zen, Zen 2, Radeon. We're going to show you the aggressive use of 7-nanometer manufacturing technology. And we're also going to show you how new system partitioning really can make a difference, thinking about the system a different way. I'm also really happy to say that we'll be joined on stage today by a number of our really good partners to really show you how that performance really happens in action and what's possible across a number of important end markets.
It
things
just works.
like content creation, gaming,
It just works, guys.
cloud computing,
It just
and
works.
even
It magically
supercomputing.
just works. It's like NVIDIA.
So, with that as an introduction, let me get started and talk
Up a little
first
bit.
about high-performance
Okay,
PCs.
Turn up a little bit. Okay.
You know,
There you go. That should be good.
the PC market is actually a
should be
really
good right
interesting market.
Yeah,
If
it
you
is.
take a look at it,
Put some 3,000
the
on there.
installed
Ryzen
base of
3000.
PCs worldwide is about 1.5 billion.
That's a lot of PCs.
Every year at CES, every OEM comes and shows you their latest and greatest thing. And
Yeah,
the
I
PC
should've
market
fixed it.
continues to
Should've
be
fixed it.
one
Should
of
be
the
good now.
most important markets for a couple of reasons.
So just adjust your volume.
First of all, consumers like the productivity of the platform.
Yeah.
It's a great platform.
Yeah. Ryzen.
Enthusiasts
Yeah.
love to push the envelope. They love gaming, they love VR. And then when you look at content creation is actually primarily done on the PC. So you look at us today, this is a beautiful theater,
Oh yeah.
and it's
I'm
surrounded
at my home
by
right now.
megapixels
I
of
ran home
displays
so fast, you
with
have no
millions
idea.
and millions of colors.
I went across the whole dang campus.
In this environment, I think about how high-performance computing
Okay, that should be a
actually
little
has
better. I ran across the whole
transformed
dang campus.
visual storytelling. You know, creators are amongst the most demanding, and they're most vocal, but also the most passionate AMD users, because they really benefit from every ounce of performance. And so whether you're talking about the latest MacBook Pros or iMac Pros, which are exclusively using AMD discrete graphics, or you're talking about high-performance
We're making a
workstations,
microphone box, guys.
all of
AMD's
these
my microphone.
desktops are the tool of choice for the most demanding creative workloads like 3D modeling,
Please do some Ryzen.
rendering,
Please be some
game
Ryzen.
development, and virtual production. So let me just tell you a little bit about the tech in this market.
Please be good,
In
Tuck.
2017, the best processor for creators had 10 cores and cost over $1,700.
Okay, microphone set up.
We knew that we could do
actually.
better. We
Hello,
knew
guys.
it.
We're gonna
And so
change
we
the microphone where
created
it's at.
Threadripper.
You gotta figure out which one's which. Yeah, Threadripper. Yeah. Yeah.
I can
so,
see
there we
Threadripper
go.
has just a few fans in the
So,
audience.
The box is my microphone. guys. Don't hate on
Look,
it.
Threadripper is
my-
the #1 selling high-end desktop processor.
This is the microphone.
And why is that?
This is my
Because
microphone,
for
guys.
that same $1,700, you now get 32 cores and 64 threads and leadership I/O and leadership memory bandwidth. And that's nearly 3x
My
more
microphone.
performance
Don't hate on the microphone.
and
okay,
3x more capability
It's specifically
delivered to the
designed
creators
for AMD.
in just a few years.
My microphone.
And if you just look at that from a performance per dollar standpoint, there you have it. There you see the step function increase when you really put your mind to innovation.
Yeah.
And so for this group of users who need every last bit of performance,
Okay.
Threadripper is a game changer.
Threadripper.
So let's hear a little bit about how Threadripper is actually used in the world of virtual production.
Please put a nice Threadripper up there.
Fox VFX Lab is now the virtual production front end to all Fox projects. Virtual production, it's kind of two words Jim Cameron and I kind of put together. We couldn't fly a film crew to Pandora, so we had to come up with a way to do this, and by sort of mishmashing all of these various technologies together, we were able to
First off, I think that they're actually
film the
might release
movie
a Threadripper.
in a motion capture space similar to what you're seeing here. Our storytellers get to live in a completely virtualized environment, put on a VR headset, look around, see the world at scale. A VR headset, look around, see the world at scale, see their actors playing the parts of those characters in real time.
Virtual production couldn't really exist before you could do motion capture practically on set, and that required a lot of compute horsepower. There's no question about that.
What's the best possible piece of hardware that we can use to help our storytellers work as quickly as they can? Time is our most valuable asset.
A director or a producer walking by, they're not going to sit around and wait for something to render. They want to see it now.
When the Threadripper showed up, that was like the coolest band these guys had ever heard came to town and played a show for them.
Light baking for us is a big deal.
With the Threadripper machines, with all the cores in them, you know, I mean, that gets done a heck of a lot faster. The Threadripper has kind of like created this kind of shadow empire of rendering capability.
With the Threadrippers, we were seeing a 20-30% increase just right out of the gate per artist.
Having AMD facilitate that acceleration is instrumental to what we're doing here.
AMD has really shown that they're very interested in this space. They really want to help content creators.
It's nice to have a partner in the industry that looks you in the eye.
This is unique. I've worked on other shows with other large distributors, and yeah, you get your hardware, but they're not necessarily listening to what exactly you're looking for, and AMD has been doing that.
So, voila, we have an example of Threadripper. So, that means we get the Threadripper. Okay, here we are. Everybody get hyped. Are we getting the Threadripper? Let's see, are we getting the Threadripper?
It's really, really great to see how the creators at Fox VFX have really taken advantage of Threadripper and everything that it offers to redefine the creative process. And we're going to talk more about desktops for AMD later on. But now let's go to the other end of the PC spectrum, the ultra-thin notebook. 160 million notebooks will be sold this year.
Exactly.
Users around the world are actually choosing the ultra-thin form factor, and it's the fastest growing PC category. And our vision for ultra-thins is actually pretty simple. We want to bring desktop-level performance to a thin and light notebook with all-day battery life.
Yeah, me too. I really want to see that. Is that with 7
And we really
nanometer?
showed this at last year's CES with the introduction of the AMD Ryzen mobile processor with Radeon Vega graphics in the first generation. At the time when we launched it, it was the world's fastest processor for ultra-thins.
Ooh.
Now, this week at CES, earlier this week, we actually introduced our second generation Ryzen mobile processor.
So they didn't even wait
And
for the
thanks
good...
to using 12 nanometer
They
manufacturing,
didn't even use the prime
our Zen
time
Plus
for this
core,
stuff. The mobile
a
stuff
lot of
isn't
new
even the most
features
important.
like longer battery life and better performance than any mobile processor that we've ever shipped. Ryzen second generation is still the fastest processor for ultra-thin notebooks.
Okay, we're doing this.
And when you take a look at some of these numbers,
me.
when you're running everyday tasks,
That was
like
nice.
loading
That was a
web
nice
pages,
try, but I don't think
up
that's
to
happening.
14% faster.
So you missed anything good? No, we haven't gotten
Editing
anything
media,
good yet. We are still
up to
waiting on some of the good stuff to
27%
happen. I can get another mic up. I have
And
just
more
trying
than
to
that,
use this because
there are
actually I
many,
can
many
get
new
this going,
features.
but we'll mess around with that
When
in
you
a sec.
look at Windows
Put the
Modern
box.
PC
Actually, I'm
Edition,
never
for
gonna find
example.
that. So let's put the
Very,
stuff here.
very cool stuff.
But yeah, we were watching the
Voice
live
switch.
press release,
You can check the
and right
weather
now
to
nothing
look
too
up
good.
the
We're
recipe.
waiting for the good stuff. I ran
Modern
home,
standby.
so y'all don't
The PC is
understand
always connected
how
and
fast I
up-to-date
got
like
home
your
today.
smartphone.
Like I was like, you know, we're
And of
streaming
course,
this. I ran
streaming
home.
4K HDR.
Everybody's like,
So
why are
you
you
can
running?
watch your
I'm like, I
favorite
ran home.
movies and your favorite shows in the highest quality. And one of the most important things is battery life.
Yeah, that's
We
important.
want to be able to use this all day.
That's really important.
And so in second gen, we offer up to 12 hours of general productivity
Yeah.
and 10 hours of video playback.
Oh yeah.
But what truly sets us apart
That's all that matters.
is
The
our
web page
graphics
loading.
performance.
Ooh,
We love graphics.
me too.
And building processors with integrated graphics is one of our specialties. And so second gen Ryzen actually offers up to 10 Radeon Vega graphics cores and enables real gaming in an ultra-thin form factor.
Okay.
And we're proud to be able to deliver discrete
Run,
level
Forrest,
graphics
run.
performance in a single chip for
Oh, yeah.
ultra-thins. But great graphics requires more than just high-performance hardware.
Oh, it does?
One of the things I love about this community is I hear from you guys all the time, whether it's Twitter or Reddit or all that stuff. And gamers know that software is just as important.
Yeah, that
And we're
optimization.
passionate about ensuring that gamers have the latest and greatest drivers. So starting next month, we will make our most advanced discrete level graphics drivers available with Ryzen Mobile. And those users can get that direct from AMD.com.
We still have yet to hear Radeon Vega RX rumors, and we have still yet to hear AMD Ryzen rumors. So nothing
Now,
too important
the chips
yet.
are great, but all of this innovation really comes together in new systems from the world's top OEMs.
So we're only
And we
halfway
are
through of
extremely
the hour,
honored
guys. But
really have
we are
a
kind
record
of
number
not gotten
of
into that
Ryzen-powered
just yet.
notebooks
So
coming to the market this year. From Acer, Asus, Dell, HP, Huawei, Lenovo, and Samsung. Actually, if you walk the show floors, you can see many of these new designs on display here at CES. And you're going to see them available in retail later this quarter.
But we have yet to hear
really
a single
cool,
thing
and
about
thank you for
Ryzen.
everything. Now, we have talked about high-performance PCs for creators and for consumers, but there's another important group for whom PCs are a tool of choice. Computers actually play a major role,
I thought it was,
especially
thought it was
for those
3000.
focused
Come
on
on.
STEM,
Where's the
science,
3000
technology,
series?
engineering, and math. And frankly, this is an
Come on.
area that's really near and dear to my heart.
We got 30 minutes
So,
to
for
cover
these students, computer
a lot of
labs
stuff.
and high-performance PCs are now integral
Please do
to
something
how they learn.
spicy.
So let's take a look at the role computing plays in education.
Good things are always last. Amen to that one. And I think we're in a little look at something. So we have yet to hear anything about, yeah, we have yet to hear any,
we always had a focus on
see if I
STEM,
can-
on science,
audio,
technology,
like,
engineering, and math.
We have courses in C++, game development, app development, quantum computing.
Okay, there we go. So we have yet to hear anything about the Ryzen 3000 series, and we have yet to hear anything about the Radeon 3000 series as well. So this is just going to be quite interesting. Also, if y'all want to subscribe, that's nice. I mean, I do tech stuff, and I've been talking about this for the last, like, I don't know, 3 months. So
technology to enhance education.
We have amazing technology.
yeah, so
available to
it's
us.
going to be quite
Motion
interesting.
detectors, force meters, things that really in high school.
This is just going to be quite interesting. I don't know. They're just showing us some stuff about how it's important. Which, honestly, I think any technology is important. But like right now, we kind of want to just. I'm personally here for the 3000 series. I really want to see some of that. So I mean, I'm fooling around with my tech stuff. I set this all up last night. Y'all have no idea how fast I ran home. Like, you know, everyone's wondering why I ran home so fast. I was like, you know, we're just running home. Are we done yet?
Bigger than themselves.
I realized that if I could take my passion in engineering and my love for combining multifaceted approaches
we got a
and
subscriber.
solutions to problems,
Thank you for
that
subscribing.
maybe I could
I'm just
actually
saying,
make
this is.
tangible change
I've been
to
hyped up for this about
countries.
weeks. So like,
that it's something
yeah, and I have
we
math
should be
finals
devoting a
tomorrow,
substantive amount of
calculus finals
resources
tomorrow,
towards in
and
the
I have
future,
yet
is
to
continuing
even.
the cycle
I
of
really
innovation.
should be
I
studying
don't
for
know
that.
what I want to be. I just
Keep
know
us up.
that I want to use
Yeah, there'll be a video
technology
afterwards.
somehow to
Actually,
make
when
a
I get done with this, I'm doing
Every
a video as
single
well.
day,
So
I'm
this is
learning
just
new
gonna get
things
hyped
about
up.
the people around me, and then in turn, seeing where we connect and maybe how we can make.
I mean, I want the RX Ryzen Vega 2.
Alright.
Oh, we're back. Oh yeah, I'm not. Don't get me started
I
on
don't know
Timmy
about
Joe.
you guys,
He was the
but
one that
I
told me
don't
to
think
kill
I was that
myself
smart
back when I
when I was in
started
high
this
school.
channel. So if you're
I
unfamiliar
was
with that,
actually
he
at Bronx
commented on
Science,
some of my first videos.
just
Don't get me
last
started on him.
month, and it actually totally blew me away as to how much they were using PCs and actually even servers in the classroom. And so, you know, at AMD, we're really committed to making our products more broadly available.
3000, come on, Ryzen 3000.
We already have deep partnerships with Microsoft
3000 series.
and Apple on their education
Please.
platforms. But this week at CES, we're announcing that the first AMD-powered Chromebooks.
Oh, that's
And
kind
when
of
you look at Chromebooks, starting with the Acer Chromebook
not what I was
315
here for.
and the HP
Chromebooks.
Chromebook
Don't you like
14,
Chromebooks?
leading
I
global
have
OEMs
a lot of
will
computers
release
and I don't have a
multiple
Chromebook.
AMD-powered Chromebooks this year. We've actually gotten really great reception. And I think the idea is that we want a broad ecosystem.
I wanted.
So it's our job
I really just
to
wanted
bring
to
technology
talk to you.
to the broadest possible ecosystem. So thank you very much for the support on Chrome. Okay, so let's turn our full attention now to immersive devices and the exciting world of gaming. AMD is the only company that delivers high-performance CPUs and GPUs for PCs, consoles, and cloud gaming. And if you take a look today, there are more than 400 million gamers in the world who play on Radeon graphics. Gaming is actually a large part of the recent growth of PCs, and if you look across the gaming market, we're seeing secular growth. So, you know, we expect annually 15% growth through 2021. And why is that? Why is gaming so popular? Gaming actually brings people closer together. It helps connect them with their friends and their family.
GPUs!
Gamers also love technology, and they have extremely high expectations. And so they provide us with great feedback on our products. And that's why we love all types of gaming at AMD. So let's start our exploration of gaming with one of the best people in the industry on this subject, and a great friend of AMD. Please welcome to the stage Head of Gaming at Microsoft, Phil Spencer.
Oh, come on. I want some GPUs. Everybody pray for some GPUs. We get some RX Vegas too? Oh yeah.
Phil, thank you so
I
much.
got freaking
It's great to
goosebumps.
have you at CES.
On your
Dang,
first
goosebumps.
CES keynote. It's awesome to be here on stage.
It's truly fantastic. Now, I have to say, guys, Phil is a legend in the gaming industry. Is Phil a legend?
Sending my break. Hurry up. Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for
He's
this.
a humble legend.
I'm waiting for this. I'm actually skipping my lunch at school right now to do this. So.
Yeah, you know, it's great to see the great growth in gaming over the last few years. Gaming has truly become a mainstream form of entertainment. You see games now that are talked about on the morning news. You go to schools. A lot of kids' first introduction to technology is through games. Games like Minecraft, games like Roblox. It's just such a great on-ramp to our youth and for all of us to come
Everybody
together.
cross your fingers for Navi.
No question at all. Now, Phil, you know, our teams have worked really hand in hand on Xbox for multiple years. Can you talk a little bit about our partnership and what we can create together?
Well, a moment I love. November 2017.
I got everything crossed.
Together.
Everything is crossed. Just saying.
Xbox One X was the last.
I'm really hyped
console
for
that we
Ryzen though.
launched
So.
together. That console put in the hands of creators the ability to build absolutely the best versions of their games. True 4K entertainment. And you see this. You see this with AAA games today. They're playing
My fingers
so
are
well
crossed,
on the
everybody.
platform. And
Fingers
it's
are
just
crossed.
awesome.
All fingers.
Collaboration has been key. But even more in depth in the way our teams work together, one of the key features for us was backward compatibility. The fact that today's
They've
Xbox
got 15
One
minutes to
console
announce
can play
Navi and
games
the
from
AMD
360
Ryzen stuff.
generation and even the original Xbox generation, which
They've
required
got
work
15
at the
minutes to
silicon
announce
level.
it.
It was a lot of work.
I don't think
It
it's
was.
happening. I don't think it's
And
happening.
not only does it play those games, it actually plays those games better than
I don't
the
think it's
original
happening,
console.
guys.
And to think about that, those games were created at a time.
I don't
had
think
no
it's.
idea that
I don't think it's
Xbox
happening.
One X
I mean, we
would
may
be
get
there,
Navi. I
and the
think
games are
we're
running
pushing towards
fantastic.
Navi, but we're
That was
not.
a great partnership.
Excuse me, not going to get a Ryzen.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I don't think
We
no
are,
Ryzen 3000 series.
Really proud of our work together on Xbox. I think our teams are, you know, so motivated.
I want
And, you know,
CPUs. I'm
when
here
you
for
look
CPUs.
at Microsoft in gaming. I mean, you've been in gaming for a long time, but it seems like recently gaming has become even more important for Microsoft. Is that true?
Yeah, you know, the Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, and we were talking a lot about what gaming could mean for Microsoft. You know, there are about 4 billion connected consumers on the planet today, and about 2 billion of those play video games. Just think about that, half the connected world playing video games. It's the scale of market that Microsoft should be a part of. And I said for a lot of today's youth, their first introduction to compute is through some form of video game that they're playing. Gaming's also going through a digital transformation that both of us are seeing in so many industries. The cloud is playing a more and more important role in today's
AMD stock just dropped
today, and the local devices are enabling people to play all kinds of games across all kinds of devices, which is just a perfect area for Microsoft to be focused, and I get to keep my job, which is something that I love, so that's good.
Well, look,
I'm looking this up
we
right
love
now.
That vision. We love 2 billion gamers. Let's talk a little bit about the underlying technology and what do we have to do to really power that vision.
Yeah, when we look forward, say over the next decade,
Stock is dropping,
what are you
guys.
gonna need to invest in to ensure that you're a leading game company? There are 3 components that are
Yeah,
critically
I
important
don't.
as we
I'm
see.
calling we may get
One,
Navi
and first and
too,
foremost always
but I
is
don't
the
think we're getting a
content.
Ryzen out of it.
Gamers play games.
I don't
People
know.
wanna
They have
see
to.
great games.
They
wanna
talked about.
play
They said
great
they were.
games,
So if you look at
watch people
the
play
description
great
for this
games.
video,
We've invested in
if you look at the
Microsoft and more
description of the
first-party
AMD
content,
stuff, they say
and the
that it's
industry at large is
they're
creating
talking about
more diverse
CPUs
and
too.
more interesting games
So,
than we ever have before. Content is critical. As you talked
I don't know.
about before,
I don't think so.
gamers know how to reach us. Gamers are communal. They like to give feedback. They like to talk to each other. They like to play with each other on services like Xbox Live, to watch gameplay on services like Twitch and Mixer. community is such an important part.
Yeah, nothing's happening at the moment. We're just talking about how important gaming is. Yeah, I think everyone's here that thinks gaming's important is here for those processors and GPUs.
The third area that's becoming even more critical is we want to enable gamers to play games on any device.
Why is it dropping? Because they haven't announced what everyone thought they were going to. A lot of people bought stocks and thought they were going to go up if they released what everyone rumored they were, and it's not happening.
To any device, and we're using the silicon work that we've done together to ensure that the thousands of games that have already been built for the Xbox platform are enabled on that platform.
Yeah, it does feel like they're stalling. I would agree. It does feel heavily like stalling.
Work that our teams have done together to ensure that those cloud blades that we're
putting
really
in our boring so far,
today run
Can't
all
believe I
of the
freaking
great
skipped
Xbox
my lunch
games
for
that
this.
people love to play.
No, that's fantastic, Phil. Look, we love that. You know, as a hardware company, I mean, we really love the idea that you can bring all the content together, you know, across all of these different platforms. And frankly, it's, you know, it's a technical challenge for us, but it's one that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're down from $1.27 now down to 20.
Yeah, you know, we're, as a company, we look at the opportunity in gaming, and one of the things I wanted to say is when we think about who
that's what we're here for, is a
we think
3800X.
about great companies that do great work, but also in the right way. And you are somebody that I've respected a ton in this industry, and I've seen the way you've led AMD.
I don't think we're getting it.
And I think having a partner like AMD that
we may get processors, but I don't know. They may be saving that for the last, but we've got like 15 minutes now for them to go through and talk about this. Maker, keep us updated on that stock price.
Thank you for that. And as we look forward to future platforms that we're building and work that we're doing, the partnerships and the innovations that we've seen in the past that have led to what we've been able to do today, I think are going to be critically important to our future endeavors. So I'm really looking forward to showing those to people more in the future.
Fantastic. Well, Phil, thank you so much. We are honored to be your partner. We're honored to be Microsoft's partner, and we have a lot of exciting things.
I thought according to what they said online, according to CES's website, the presentation is only an hour, from what I gathered on CES's website, and it's and they're supposed to talk about CPUs and GPUs from the description. So
look, you know, I hope Phil's perspective on the future of gaming is as exciting for you as it is for us, because we really believe this. We really believe we can make this happen. And we can't wait to make all of this a reality. But in the meantime, there's a lot for PC gamers to get excited about today. So last November, we launched what PC World called the new 1080p gaming champion, the Radeon RX 590. The 590 is a perfect card for PC gamers who play on 1080p monitors. And frankly, that's 2/3 of the market today.
It's coming!
The 590 is our latest graphics card that supports Radeon FreeSync technology. And FreeSync is an industry standard that syncs up the GPUs and the monitors so that gamers can experience a tear and stutter-free experience. And because it is an industry standard, you get all of this gameplay with no additional cost. Now, FreeSync is really, really popular and just gets bigger.
Are we getting it?
It's
Are we getting it?
They're going to do some for adaptive sync. And we have more than 550 gaming monitors.
Come on. I don't think it's no. No, I don't think so. No, they're fluffing it up.
It's really an experience.
Can someone double check to see what time we've got for the Ryzen?
Another area that we're very proud of. Or not for the
Ryzen, for the how long this presentation is supposed to be?
This is actually the fastest ramping part of our business in terms of really getting the software needed for all this capability. Over the past 4 years, we have delivered day zero driver support for over 100 AAA games at launch. And just last month, we released the Radeon Software Adrenaline 2019 edition. So
yeah, I think we might just end up with some monitors
across some of the popular titles. But we've also added.
They're moving towards gaming, and I think processors are close.
Things like.
But their chance to announce the processors would have been later.
In-game instant replay, the ability to stream from your to your phones and tablets, and even VR headsets. So all of those have come together in a great ecosystem. But as I said, we know exactly what's on gamers' minds, and there is a very passionate group of gamers and creators we've been getting something ready for as well. AMD loves gamers. AMD
it's GPUs.
High performance. So for all of our
3000
fans, it's time to meet the next generation of high-performance gaming GPUs.
Yeah! 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 Here we go, Vega 2, boys. I'm calling it. Vega 2. Calling it. This is what I was looking forward to right here. Vega 2. Come on. Vega 2. Vega 2. Come on, boys. Oh, I lost my subscriber counter. Come on.
Alright, what do you think?
Come on. Hit me up. Radeon.
I'm not sure I can hear you.
Radeon.
Today I'm really, really happy to show you for the very first time our new high-end GPU for gamers and creators, AMD Radeon 7.
Okay. We'll see what the specs are and performance on it. We got 15
Radeon
minutes.
7 is the second generation Vega graphics core. It is the world's first 7nm gaming GPU. And when you look at what it delivers, we really deliver leadership performance in content creation, thank you, and compute workloads. And so when you power enthusiast level gaming, you need it in all kinds of ways. So where does all that performance come from? Radeon 7 has 60 compute units running at up to 1.8 gigahertz. Radeon 7 uses advanced 7nm process technology. As I said, this is the world's first 7nm gaming GPU. And what we get for that is 25% more performance at the same time.
This is what we are looking for, guys.
And lastly,
Glad I took
Radeon
off lunch
7
now.
has massive memory. 16 gigabytes of high bandwidth memory with industry-leading terabyte per second of memory bandwidth. So if you think about all of that memory and all of that compute, you can imagine how good this GPU is for content creation. If you take a look at some of the most important benchmarks in creative workloads, we see up to 30% improvement in things like Blender,
16
and Adobe
gigabytes.
Premiere. You can
Heck
imagine
yeah.
30% does a lot. We see up to 62% more performance in GPU compute workloads based on OpenCL. And when you think about all of these performance games,
Tarkin, I
they're
see you.
really, really good for creators, and we love that. But we know that you guys want to know, how does Radeon 7 perform in gaming? We really built Radeon 7 for gamers, and these are the cream of the crop. The folks that want high frame rates when playing at the highest quality visual settings at max resolutions. And we have some really large improvements from first generation Vega. What you see is across Vulkan, DX12, and some of the popular esports titles, you see significant improvements when running at 4K and max settings. And the thing about Radeon 7 is we also use some of our new Vega features. Things like async compute,
Hey, that's pretty
rapid
good.
packed math, shader intrinsics. These are all being used by game developers to create even better and more immersive gaming experiences. But that may be enough of me talking about the card. You may actually want to see Radeon 7 in action. So I think my friend Chris is here. Chris, let's show Radeon 7 running a really, really cool new title. It's the upcoming Devil May Cry 5 running at 4K. So this is the first time that Devil May Cry 5 is being shown, running on Radeon 7. And it's the latest version of the successful Devil May Cry action-adventure feature series from Capcom. AMD has actually worked very closely with the development team to optimize the game engine to create the photorealistic characters and some of the environments that you see here. And if you take a look at the performance, we have the frame rates up there.
I think it's GDDR6
You can see the game is running super, super fast in 4K ultra settings, way above 60 frames per second.
Let me see if I can move this up for you guys.
So there you see it. I want to give a really, really big
Yeah,
thanks
it's at
to our
120
partners at
FPS.
Capcom
I don't know
for
if you
letting
guys
us
can see
show
this. It's 120
DMC5
FPS.
before it launches. This title
Not
launches
4K,
March
not
8th,
70.
and we're really excited to.
That's my birthday.
On it.
Okay.
So, thank you very much, Chris.
Let's get this. Sorry, trying to adjust it. There you go. So you can see the frame rate.
We really believe at the high-end enthusiast market, you need great hardware.
Do you think they're using an AMD
gamers
CPU?
who want to run AAA titles in 4K at max settings will be really happy with Radeon 7 and how it performs compared to the competition. Radeon 7 has better performance in some of the latest Vulkan games, like Strange Brigade, and is very competitive.
Okay, boys, so it's pretty much, wow.
And I know for some of the
okay, so it's about the same with 2080. We weren't expecting that. We were expecting 2070. So this is 2080 performance, guys.
We'll get them and be able to do
equivalent of a 1080 Ti.
Now, in addition to Capcom, we partner closely with many developers. And it's really that close partnership that allows us to take advantage of the features of our Radeon GPUs. So to discuss a bit more about our partnership with game developers, let me invite David Pullfeld to the stage. He's head of Ubisoft's massive entertainment studio. David?
So while we have a second, I want to quickly talk about the fact that we have yet to see any Ryzen CPUs.
How are you, David?
Good.
And I think they're just going to talk about how important gaming is on the for the platform. So let's just go real quick recap. So we do know that we have a RTX, a Radeon 7, which is equivalent to a 2080, which is equivalent to a 1080 Ti from NVIDIA, from the performance benchmarks that they showed, which were 3. We have yet to see any mention of CPUs, but they did say they were going to talk about CPUs and GPUs. They already did talk about integrated graphics CPUs or APUs, so we may end up not seeing that at all. But it's supposed to be an hour, and we'll see where we go from there.
My first time in Vegas. Fantastic AMD event, so congratulations. And you know, I'm really excited to be part of announcing the Radeon 7 to gamers everywhere. And as you know, partnering with the best hardware developers in the world is very important to us, and specifically with AMD because you guys have created what most gamers play on. And it's very important for us to ensure that our fans have the best experience. No, it's true.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. And you know, our collaboration has enabled us to bring our creative vision to life by helping us develop new worlds, increase frame rates, and support higher fidelity visuals.
Ryzen 7 3800X,
was actually the biggest game launch in Ubisoft history. And today we're working on something even much more ambitious with the Division 2. So how can you make something that was so great, you know, even better?
Well, first of all, I have to say it's great to work with people who are as ambitious as we are. That's been a real treat. And we're incredibly proud to partner with AMD to deliver smooth and awe-inspiring visuals in 4K resolution, while letting players experience game-changing performance with the Division 2. So our partnership has allowed us to overcome several technical obstacles that we faced when we set out to create this huge, forward-looking and living world. But through AMD support, the technology
RTX 2080 performance.
We've been able to lower.
So yeah, we've got RTX 2080 performance, guys. So it's going to be pretty powerful. I wasn't expecting that. That's good.
Just a testament to that collaboration and the beginning. But you know, while we're speaking, let's not forget to take a look at these wonderful shots from the game, because that's really cool.
Really, really beautiful. David, thank you. I think this is the first time anyone's seeing this, right? So, you know, rendering on all of those details at max settings and 4K resolution must require some pretty powerful GPUs.
To be fair, the rumors say the price is going to be around $300. I don't know how true that is, but the rumors do say $300 is what we're expecting. So it says $300, and I'm making a video right after I'm done with this. Okay, we're doing some gameplay testing. Are they going to give us the frame rates? Nope, no frame rates, so we don't know. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we don't know frame rates, but I mean, hey. I think they said $300, as I said. And also, if you're interested, subscribe. I've been talking about this for weeks, so.
Thank you. I guess, welcome to Washington, I guess. So, and I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for building what we need based on our feedback that we've been having very, very tight dialogue when we were working on this. And it's not just with the hardware, it's also with the open source tools, GPU open, and I think it's one of many great examples of AMD listening to all of us. And it clearly shows, I think, in the world we built with the Division 2.
That is absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you look at the collaboration between you know, our engineers and your Snowdrop engineers,
we've got 5 minutes according to what it said online. So
what can we expect to appear in the Division 2 as a result?
Yeah, my man Backfish, we've already got ourselves GPUs, and they're equivalent of a 2080 on the top tier. We don't know prices or anything past that, but we do know we got GPUs.
The Division 2 will support a full set of advanced Radeon technology features.
Thank you, by the way, that's fantastic.
Yep, Vega 2 architecture.
And DX12 with async compute is especially important for us because we want to open up this experience to as many players as possible.
That's fantastic. Look, we love the fact that you're using our tech. I mean, it's really great. It's why we build it, frankly.
Well, we love it too, you know, so we're just having fun.
Look, as exciting as it is to work on graphics together, you know, CPUs are also really, really important. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience with Ryzen?
I'd be happy to, because the Ryzen is really a beautiful piece of hardware. And, you know, the cores and the threads are allowing us to bring better performance and tighter gameplay to so many people. And at the end of the day, games are created on PCs. So it's an incredibly important platform.
This is the good stuff.
And we're super committed, and we wanted to show you that we're here to make the best experience
good stuff
possible on PC.
Good stuff?
With AMD. But
this is good stuff?
I think you have made a lot of PC gamers really happy today. So, David, thank you for this close partnership. Thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for letting us look at Division 2 on Radeon 7. We can't wait for the game to come out.
CPUs? CPUs?
I can't wait for it to come out either. But thanks for having me, and good luck with everything.
Please,
Bye-bye.
CPUs! I have a remote, by the way. I've got this all set up.
So the Division 2 actually launches on March 15th. But
I'm ready.
For any of you here at CES who can't wait that long, please stop by Club AMD for your exclusive opportunity to play the game on Radeon 7. And I also have a couple of other things to say. We will be announcing that for a limited time we will bundle Division 2 with Radeon 7 and select Ryzen 7 and Ryzen 5 second generation processors. And all of that is really to show you the power of our hardware with this great title. And for all of you who are here in the room today, as you walk out, you're going to get your free copy of Division 2 as well. So just a little thank you. Okay, so look, we talked earlier about how gaming is increasingly social.
Nope,
and
no CPUs.
Esports has become one of the fastest growing spectator sports in recent years. And the popularity is really only increasing. 6.6 billion hours were spent watching esports in 2018. 6.6 billion. That's mind-boggling. And if you look at the number of esports viewers that are expected, we expect that to be almost 600 million by 2021. And from our own experience, I can tell you the top 5 games played on high-end AMD GPUs are all esports titles. One of the leading teams fueling this popularity is Fnatic. And for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with Fnatic or haven't seen an event, let's take a quick look at what it's all about.
To be fair, they've got 3 minutes to make to announce the CPUs if they do. Yeah, we haven't even heard anything about CPUs. Like, I mean, they talked about APUs, but those aren't CPUs. And they said they were going to talk about CPUs, so I don't know.
So to talk a little bit more about esports, I'd like to welcome Fnatic co-founder.
This feels like it's running over the hour.
Hi Sam, how are you?
I'm great, thanks for having me.
It's fantastic to have you here at CES. Tell us a little bit about what esports is all about.
I wanted to go so bad, but...
You know, it's amazing to be here. I'm so excited to talk about esports, and it really is the new world sport. You know, it's got a significant accessibility. It's completely global in nature.
We haven't seen our AMD Ryzen processor, which pretty much means that they're not announcing it now, so I don't think we're going to see it. I don't think we're gonna see it. They haven't announced it yet, and it's supposed to end in a minute.
And
Which
it's really here to stay.
I don't know. Please roller coaster
Fnatic
us.
was
Yeah, I
created
wanna.
way back
I wanna.
in
They already announced.
2004.
So
We
I did
basically
research,
this
and
year
according on the
2005,
stream, if you actually find the full stream link,
across
it's
10 different
in the
titles.
description. It
Major
says
games like
CPUs
League of
and
Legends,
GPUs. It doesn't say APUs. So I'm
Fortnite,
assuming it's my
CS:GO,
last little bit of hope that
and
we're gonna actually see
many
some
more.
GPU or CPUs.
In 2018, it was our most successful year yet.
Fantastic.
We placed first at a number of major CS:GO tournaments and went all the way in probably the biggest esports tournament of all time.
You got a sub
the
back?
League of Legends
I got a
World
sub back?
Championships, which was watched
Oh,
by
well,
over
thank you,
60
man.
people.
Well, that's fantastic, Sam. We're really
Subscribers are not kind of why I'm here. I'm here to share the lovely experience with 42 dang people that I didn't think I'd get. So, hey.
How big this is, and we've now partnered for about 3 years. And from your perspective, why are high performance?
And if y'all really want to hear about the esports, I just wanted to real quick take a quick moment. I want to say thank you very much for spending a small little bit of your time today with me rather than watching the stream by yourself. I just got to say I really do genuinely appreciate you joining my lunch break, and instead of eating, I'm here with you guys. So this is what I'd rather do. But just wanted to say thank you very much for taking a little bit of your time today to watch it with me.
Thank you, by the way.
Ryzen really allows us to play and stream seamlessly.
By the way, I will be making a full recap video also, so if you're like just joining in here, if you want to just subscribe, because that's literally what I'm doing next after is I'm making a full recap video. So if you want to check in for that, but pretty much we've just got some GPUs.
And you know what? Our teams have
let's
done
get into
extremely well in the past year, and we
some more esports.
No, that's really fantastic, Sam. Look, we're really proud of what you guys are doing. One thing, I think most people don't normally think of esports as needing high-end GPUs. So why are high-performance GPUs like Radeon?
If she does a mic drop for the AMD 3000 series, like my boy Triumph says, I'm in. I'm upgrading. I'm literally gonna upgrade.
Noticeable advantage over the competition, and really helps to improve their performance. Our players and teams' livelihood.
Thank you to that subscriber, by the way.
Literally depend on the performance of their PC and their graphics card. That's why all of our players are powered by the best AMD PCs to both qualify and train for major tournaments. A great example of this.
Okay, just
Dota
a real
2
quick
team,
comment.
currently the top team in Southeast Asia.
I don't believe
Provide
that.
the most
Like the guy talking about
performance
they're going to put AMD graphics cards. Just to be fair, AMD's graphics cards are not performance centers the same as the 1080 Ti right now, so or 2080 Ti. So I would put 2080 Ti in there.
It's a pretty big business you got here.
Especially at 4K.
The same goes for all the other teams. Whether it's Counter-Strike, League of Legends, or Rainbow Six.
And thank you all 40 of y'all.
That's fantastic. I mean, look, that's what we build for, frankly.
Yep.
So
thank you for 40 viewers, by the way.
Sam, we have a lot of folks here in the room, and I'm sure a lot on the live stream that are gamers, and they want to play like the pros at home. So can you help us understand what the ideal setup is, for esports teams?
Definitely. I mean, players generally they play on 1080p, and they really want.
We also are over the hour that they said they'd take, so we are ending up actually running an hour ahead. We're actually a couple of minutes over, which means they may actually decide to cram in a Ryzen 3000.
And GPUs like Radeon 7 really enable that to run smoothly. Low latency is also critical. Sometimes the difference can be between a winner or a loss. Technologies like FreeSync, again, help players to address this. Streaming is increasingly an important part of what we do.
It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Me, I'm just streaming
and
right now.
The PCs need to be powerful enough because it drives so much engagement and income for our audience. Ryzen and Radeon are ideal for streaming.
There is no point in this. I'm just saying they are talking about hardware, so they may lead into CPUs for streaming. Not sure, but that's where we're going.
Performance, and which is directly impacted by the hardware we use.
Yep, no, that makes perfect sense. Look, congratulations on everything that you guys have done in 2018. I know you're really excited about 2019.
Yep.
And we are really
Jacob, you're right now, yeah.
Announce today that we're going to upgrade all of your teams to Radeon 7 in 2019. So.
Amazing. I'm sure my team is going to be super thrilled. That's fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
She didn't say Ryzen 3000.
An amazing year for us.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you so much, Sam.
Thanks so much.
So hopefully by now you realize that Radeon 7 is the most powerful gaming GPU we have ever built, and really the most powerful consumer GPU available for content creation. It's really the best of both worlds. And I'm happy to announce today some more specifics on Radeon 7. Radeon 7 will go on sale on February 7th for $699 from leading
Who called it? Who called it?
System integrators.
Who called it on the stream? Who called it on the stream?
Direct on AMD.com.
Who called it on the
Alienware
stream?
Area 51 desktop.
Somebody called it. I want to know who. That person called it. They got to get credit.
For a limited time, Radeon 7 will become bundled with Resident Evil 2, DMC5 that you saw.
This is the performance of a 1080 Ti, guys.
What do you think of that? So look, we are super excited about Radeon 7, and I hope you guys are as well. But I'd also like to wrap up our gaming discussion with one more partner story, just to show you the depth of what we do.
I thought it was
if you look today, we stream
CPU.
music, we stream applications, and we stream video. So the question is, why not AAA games? This morning, I'm pleased to announce for the first time that AMD has been working closely with one of the leaders in cloud computing.
I have a feeling this is moving towards streaming.
Have been working to bring game streaming to life with the Project Stream program launched last October. Google chose to test
this is
Project
going
Stream
towards
with one of the most demanding games
the
out
CPUs.
there,
This is going that way.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey from Ubisoft.
Okay.
And if you take a look, all you need is a Wi-Fi connection
never mind. Sorry.
and a Chrome browser to stream the game from Google's AMD-powered cloud servers in high-fidelity 1080p at 60 frames per second. So just take a look at some of the capability.
Okay, so we've got...
Is that beautiful or what?
Okay, so it's actually $6.99. I apologize, man. Cloud computing.
The reception has been really great, and it's really clear to see why. Pushing that many pixels through a small pipe is incredibly difficult. It requires deep engagement across hardware and server providers, as well as game developers. And because even if you have just 1 second of buffering, this thing would be unplayable.
Well, Jacob, keep in mind that's equivalent to like around where the 1080 Ti dropped. I think it's $700, so it's about the performance of the 1080 Ti.
Gamers can get that same experience they have come to expect on their PC delivered in their browser. That's why we are so proud that Google has selected
she just says
AMD
Gen 2 on
Radeon Pro
Zen 2
GPUs based on our Vega architecture to power Project Stream.
Oh, so they included, just like NVIDIA does, they have an integrated streaming software. Okay. Okay.
So we like to say that Radeon graphics are everywhere.
Please.
And we are thrilled that Google is now part of that portfolio with Project Stream.
Zen 2.
And to wrap up the gaming section, let me say again, AMD loves gaming, and AMD loves gamers. We have one aspiration. We want to be the technology of choice for gamers and developers across the entire ecosystem, PCs, consoles, and cloud. And I'm extremely excited to start the year launching the first 7nm GPU with Radeon 7.
CPU, come on.
But we have a lot more coming this year. So both next generation CPUs and GPUs. And I look forward to sharing more of that progress as the year progresses. So with that, now let me turn to the world of high performance computing. If you take a look over the coming years, we have an incredible opportunity to solve some of the biggest challenges we face by applying more powerful computing and artificial intelligence to key problems. Things like climate change, things like energy solutions, medical research, and much, much more. In 2017, we took a big step forward to address this market with the introduction of our AMD EPYC server processor. If you take a look at EPYC, what it does is it combines more cores, more memory, and more I/O to offer leadership performance.
To be fair, she said next-gen CPUs later this year. She didn't say she wasn't announcing them.
Tremendous first year for EPYC. There are more than 50 EPYC platforms that are now shipping from the leading server providers. And AMD is also winning in the biggest cloud environments. Microsoft Azure offers their highest performance big data and HPC instances on EPYC. Amazon offers EPYC on their most powerful cloud instances. And if you use AWS, you can save 10% or more by simply migrating your instance to EPYC. And the process takes about 4 minutes to do.
Yeah, I want to Cinebench,
really simple. And then if you take a look at the floating point performance and the memory bandwidth of EPYC, This is really the ideal platform for supercomputing. And that's why EPYC is winning.
Keep in mind, we are moving to CPUs. So.
Space exploration, to F1 racing, to cutting-edge scientific research. To give you a little bit of an idea of why EPYC is so important, let's hear from the researchers at Oregon State University.
Okay, to be fair, this may actually be what they were talking about as new high-end CPUs, and they did say that later CPUs, as my boy Maker said, is going to be later this year. So it may actually end up that we may not actually get the CPUs, may or may not. Don't know.
The Center for Genome Research constantly reevaluates its HPC needs. We have individual departments pushing through between 500,000 to 1 million jobs a year. So the hardware.
Also, if you're new, I'm going to be releasing a full summary video in about 30 minutes. So if you're interested, make sure you guys subscribe. Yeah, do that. And thank you for doing this.
Basically, just handling simultaneous multiprocessing jobs. It's the thread count that really matters.
I smell.
Bacteria I study
I took a shower.
So detecting them quickly and carefully is really important for preventing disease, as they cause millions of dollars in damage every year in agricultural systems. What we are able to do is to sequence the genomes of hundreds or thousands of these bacteria, investigate their gene content, and compare it to bacteria that don't cause disease. On our previous systems we had, this type of analysis would take 10 days to run, but with the EPYC server, we were able to complete them in 2 days.
The evolution of AMD seems to be on task with how research computing moves forward, and we plan to continue our relationship with them because they help us reinvent how we're doing our science.
High-performance computing is the
Yeah,
most
the audio is
important
missing.
scientific tool today.
I don't know if that's me
so
or not.
continuing that kind of advancement, what that allows us to do is really
I don't know if that's me or
look
not.
at how
Oh, my mouse,
molecular
yeah, probably.
processes happen at an accuracy that we've never dreamed of before.
The future of science is definitely on the computational side. I'm really excited to see how
Here, I'll
this
jump-
moves forward in the
I'll
future,
pump
where we
the
have
volume
such
up.
tremendous computing power, how we
Here,
can
I'll
apply
pump the
this
volume up. There
to
you go.
problems in
That should be a little bit
agriculture,
helpful.
in medicine, and I see this as the future of
There you go.
science and where
Should be a
things are
little bit
headed.
better.
We get excited about answers. In the end, to us, the technology's how
That
we
should
get
be a
to our
little bit
answers,
better
and
so you
that's
guys
what
can hear me.
excites us. Seeing the science actually get somewhere and actually be able to change the world in a positive way is how we're using this technology, and that's what keeps the scientists going.
I can't fix the audio, guys. I'm sorry, I messed with it. Okay, CPUs. Hot Ryzen. I'm here for some Ryzen.
So those are pretty significant gains you're seeing in performance from OSU with EPYC. But it's clear they can use much, much more computing. So in 2019, that's exactly what we're going to do with the next generation EPYC processor. Second gen EPYC is powered by our new Zen 2 processor core and built using the world's most advanced 7nm manufacturing technology. And I will go so far as to say
They said Zen 2.
that we believe it is the best server processor the world has ever seen. We are seeing incredible performance gains compared to the current generation EPYC. Things like 4 times the floating point performance, double the compute performance per socket, and up to 64 cores and 128 threads per processor. And we use the same socket and the same platform as the current generation, which actually makes upgrading really easy. So all of these inflection points really create server performance in 2019 beyond what we've seen before. So if you just take a look at the annual trend line, second generation EPYC
My man
sits
Jig, you might
way
want to
above
look
the
at, I think it might have been
It's
on
a
the
big
CES
leap
website
in
for
server
the
performance
description of the
from the past few years. And to
or
really
the
see
phrase,
how this
whatever, or the
performance
description of
translates
the
into
keynote.
real-world improvements, let's take a look at a demo. We're going to show you, this is a popular scientific application called NAMD. NAMD is a high-performance simulator used by scientific researchers to study highly complex molecular systems. And one of the reasons NAMD is so popular and powerful is that it's very, very scalable. So the idea
Let's
is
find some
that
research,
you can
shall we?
increase the performance by just increasing the number of cores that you use.
I'm going to find the
up to
website so I can quote it.
500,000 cores. So to demonstrate the power of our next generation EPYC, I'm going to show you a demo.
Here we
and
go.
what the demo
quoting directly from
it's a
CES's
single
webpage. AMD is,
early version of EPYC
catapulting
processor
computing, gaming, and
compared
visualization
to
technologies
two
forward with the world's
of our
first
competitors'
7nm
highest-end
high-performance CPUs
Xeon
and GPUs,
Platinum 8180
providing the power to
processors.
reach
And it
technologies
really
next
just
horizon.
shows you the difference.
That's
So
the
let's
quote.
take a look at the demo.
That's the quote right there. Oh.
So what you're seeing on the screen is an incredibly complex simulation, and it's really the atomic movement and combination of a common HDL protein component. And if you take a look at the bottom, what you see there is the important metric. It's actually the number of nanoseconds per day that you can run. And what you see is that you have a single EPYC processor running against two Intel processors, and the EPYC processor is running faster. It's running about 15% faster. And so if you take a look at all of that together, it's what makes EPYC so special. A single EPYC processor against two of our competitors' best, and what you see is an increase in performance. And so with that, you can see that scientific researchers can really do a heck of a lot.
Thank you for the subscribers, by the way.
And that's
Thanks
what
for
we're
joining
trying
the
to
fam.
do, right? We're trying to advance the power of computing going forward. So I know a lot of people are wondering what actually a dual-socket EPYC will look like, and we're going to talk about that very soon. So I'm very happy to announce today that the second-generation AMD EPYC processor is absolutely on track, and we will start shipping in the middle of 2019.
Okay. Now we're here for the Ryzen. That's what we all want. Ryzen.
Okay, so as exciting as EPYC is, and you know we're very, very excited about EPYC, I've got one more big thing for you today.
Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Are you guys excited about
Yeah! Hell yeah!
I love you guys, by the way. I love you guys. Look, our mission with Ryzen has always been clear. Okay, our job is to push the boundaries of our processor.
Yeah!
Third-gen Ryzen processor.
We're getting it. All the rumors are true. All the rumors are true. Betting. All the rumors are true.
Third-gen Ryzen is also powered by the Zen 2 core.
All the rumors are
also
true.
has
The way she's
7nm
this?
technology. And as a desktop processor, it will absolutely set the bar on performance, technology, and power efficiency. And to show you a little bit, I'm going to give you today the first ever public preview. No, it's a preview of what next-gen Ryzen can do. So let's take a look. Let's begin with PC gaming. My friend James, are you ready? Okay, James, let's show the audience what we got here.
Okay, I gotta get this queued back up so you all can see the frame
So
rate.
what you're seeing is an early version of our third-gen Ryzen desktop processor. By the way, it's also running with Radeon 7 GPU. It's running the performance-intensive Forza 4 gaming from Microsoft Studios. And we like this game because it really stresses the computing power. And as you can see, we have the frame rates up there. The game is running consistently at more than 100 frames per second at 1080p with maximum settings. This system that James is running is the most advanced PC gaming hardware in the world, together in one
There's
system.
something. Yeah, it is a preview.
Third-gen Ryzen, Radeon 7. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, give us some specs now.
Thank you very much, James. Good job. You didn't crash. Thank you. He was worried, by the way. I was worried, too. But look, I know you guys well. I know the enthusiast community. And you're asking yourself, how does Ryzen really perform compared to the
1080p, yes. Thank you, Tarkman,
So
for pointing that
let's
out.
take one more look. Just one more look. Let me make sure I have my guys. Okay, you guys are there. Sit tight. Louis and Amit are from our engineering team, and they've been.
No, I checked. That's what I did. I opened. I checked.
all
It
along.
wasn't blocking the FPS.
What we're
I
going to
checked.
show you today is now third-gen Ryzen with a head-to-head comparison against the top-of-the-line Core i9 9900K running the industry standard Cinebench benchmark. So note, let me tell you what we're running. We're running 8-core, 16-thread Ryzen, not final frequency, early
8-core, 16 threads.
Sample, and we're running stock frequency
against an i9
of the Intel part.
It's against an i9. This is
Lewis
all
Amit,
speed.
Are you
It's
ready?
got to come back into speed.
Okay.
Everyone, this is going to go.
Demo, please. So Cinebench is going to run for a little while. What you're also seeing, just so you know, are the powers. These are the system powers that you see from each.
This is an 8-core 16-thread versus the i9.
Is, the competing processor. The image on the right is Ryzen. And what you can see, let's take a look at the Cinebench scores.
Same performance.
Ryzen looks like 2057. Our competitor is running at 2040. So that sounds like a win. Does it sound like a win?
That means we get AMD caught up on speed, guys. They beat Intel in speed.
So you can see that the system power of 3rd gen Ryzen is running.
They beat Intel in the speed game.
Then
F, everybody F in chat.
So
F.
Now you really see the power of 7-nanometer technology and what being aggressive with technology does. So thank you, Lewis and Amit. Great job.
This F for Intel right now, guys. Holy crap.
As you can tell, I really love building chips, okay? I really love building chips. And some of you may actually wonder what 3rd generation Ryzen actually looks like. So take a look. For the first time, we will show you how Ryzen looks under the hood. And you can see it's different. It's different from what you normally expect. It's using our industry-leading chiplet design. So the smaller die is our 7-nanometer Zen 2 processor die with 8 cores and 16 threads. The larger of the dies is actually our I/O die. This I/O die is specifically designed for the PC market and for desktops, and it feeds the data between the Zen 2 engine and the rest of the system. And so one of the things that's pretty important is to take advantage of some of the faster graphics cards and devices that are coming to market later this year. Next-gen Ryzen will also be the world's first PC platform.
You said more powerful graphics cards coming to market later next year. Unless she knows NVIDIA, that only means AMD.
What do you think?
Ultra, it's PCIe 4.0. Okay.
I guess I'll keep the chip. So look, by now you're starting to understand why we get so excited about technology. Being first to 7, really pushing the envelope on system architecture, 3rd gen Ryzen is aimed at leadership, true leadership. Performance, features, power. And one of the things that we feel really passionately about is the extension of the infrastructure. So 3rd gen Ryzen will run on the same AM4 desktop infrastructure.
Which we know.
So it's really simple. For all of you who are on Ryzen today, really simple upgrade, drop-in for users. So I know you guys want to know a lot more about 3rd gen Ryzen.
We're not getting it.
We have a lot going on, and I'm really happy to tell you that we look forward to sharing that information as we get closer to the product launch. And we will be launching in the middle of 2019.
Okay. Well, middle of 2019, guys. I got a lot of videos to make.
All right. So look, today I've shown you a lot. I've shown you CPUs. I've shown you GPUs. I've shown you what's required to really get a step function in computing performance and really put us on a new
I got to start making
trajectory
notes for this video that's dropping right
afterward.
afterward.
I want to tell you, on behalf of all of the 10,000 AMDers, we are absolutely determined to drive high-performance computing innovation at the bleeding edge. This is our job one. Whether you're talking about heterogeneous system design, or you're talking about future cores, and 2s, and 3s, and 4s, and 5, Navi, all of these, we're putting all of these architectures together, and we're putting them together in new ways. But as much technology as we've shown, there really is a lot more to come. So let me just finish up on a little bit more of a personal note. I love semiconductors. I love semiconductors and what we can do for the world. Over my career, I've really been focused on how can we push the limits? How can we push the limits to solve really tough problems, whether they're technology problems or business problems?
It's just gonna drop.
My view of the world is
so fast.
A problem is actually an opportunity. And so although we have some challenges, the opportunities that we face are much greater. And I know what's really important to us is coming together collectively as an industry, working across boundaries. With all the partners that we have, all the partners we have on stage, all the OEMs, we can turn the impossible to the possible. And at AMD, we're on that journey. We're on that journey to build a future where high-performance computing is at the foundation of what enables the smartest and the brightest minds to solve the world's toughest and most interesting challenges. So I'd like to believe when we look back on today, when we look back on 2019, we're going to see that this is an inflection point in that journey. It's going to be an incredibly exciting 2019. Thank you for all your support, and thank you for your time today.
Okay, boys. Well, I would just like to, real quick, now that we're at the end of this presentation, I would just like to take a moment to say real quick thank you very much for everybody joining me today. I gotta say, if y'all are into it, thank you for hopping in here and taking your time out today. I've got some videos coming in to kind of go over everything that happened. Yeah, thank you very much for everybody that watched all the way through. I hope y'all will subscribe if you're interested. I got a lot of review stuff to go over. Those videos will be coming out shortly today. I've got track practice in about 30 minutes, so I gotta head off and do that. But I will be back on later today, and that will be the video that will be dropping shortly after this. Now I'm gonna get home. And as always, thank you very so much for joining me, taking your time out watching the CES event with me. Let's go over a real quick recap of what we got. So we know that we have a Radeon 7 with performance of a 1080 Ti 2080. We've got which starts at $699 at equivalent prices. We do know that we have some type of Ryzen processor coming out. Epic got a big upgrade, but we do know Ryzen is going to be coming out and is going to have about with 8 cores. 16, actually just 8 cores, I think is what they said. 8 cores, 16 threads is going to have the same performance as Intel's i9 9900K with the same level of performance. So that means that AMD has somehow caught up to Intel and surpassed Intel in the speed per core part of the market. So that means that AMD now is the fastest gaming processor out there, which I cannot believe this is the first time I'm ever going to say that. So just want to say thank you very much, guys. I've got to real quick go through and make a video in like 15 minutes and then head off to school. And actually I gotta eat my lunch as well because I skipped lunch. But if you wouldn't mind subscribing for that, and as always, the channel will be discussing this as covering it all the way through, and hopefully maybe next year I will actually be at CES. I'm going to be saving for that. So hopefully next year I can actually be at CES and do some cool stuff like that. But as always, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you're new, give the video a like if you enjoyed, and this will also be up, so anybody that commented can of course have their own reactions there. But I've got to edit a little bit of those reactions because I was pretty hyped. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, and as always, check out the video, will be coming out shortly. Subscribe for that as well. But goodbye, and thank you very much for joining.